Okay. Work session, item 8. Number 1, redevelopment plan and presentation for Block 81. I think, Council, you want to?
Jeff?
Oh, Jeff, I'm sorry. Too many lawyers. Never know. I never know.
No such thing.
Yes, there is.
Are you gonna pull the Shakespeare line on?
No, I will not do that
No, King Richard.
until later.
Thank you, members of the council. Jeff Lear on behalf of the Borough of Raritan.
Hey Jeff, don't stand in front of the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Live
We had a problem.
TV.
Yeah, it's,
There you go. There you go.
we got to print the ceiling or something.
I'll repeat myself. Jeff Lear from the law firm Kiefer and Cisco Bateman on behalf of the Borough of Raritan. As you're aware, we're here this evening really to talk about the introduction of an ordinance that would adopt a redevelopment plan. A redevelopment plan is essentially a zoning ordinance. It's an overlay zoning ordinance, and once adopted, it becomes an ordinance for that particular area. The process would be that there would be an introduction by the council. The council would then refer it to the planning board for a determination of consistency with the master plan and any recommendations, and then a referral back to the governing body for final adoption. There are other aspects of this that will be coming, such as a financial agreement that we've negotiated, Andy Norton and I, on behalf of the developer, and with the assistance of the mayor and the coordinating committee. We've spent quite a bit of time. We've drilled down quite a bit, and we're sorry for the delay, but it has been a tough negotiation, a long negotiation. But we're ready now. We've negotiated a redevelopment agreement. We've negotiated a financial agreement. The financial agreement, I can talk about a little bit about the aspects of that, but that will come at the next meeting when, after the redevelopment plan has been placed on your agenda for adoption. And the reason is that the developer needs the zoning in place in order to move forward with the project, as any developer would. Whether it's this developer or anyone else, the zoning would need to be in place, but all of the financial terms have been negotiated. With that said, I believe that the developer wanted to make a very brief presentation about their project.
Yeah, I think everyone is familiar with Block 81, which is at the corner of 1st Avenue and 3rd Street. And as you, many in this room may recall, is that this goes back to January. And I thought it would be prudent to request that the project proponents come and make a brief presentation to refresh all with respect to the project. And if you would please introduce yourself, and as Councilman Fooey says, don't stand in front of the camera.
No problem. My name is Kevin Cody from JMF Properties. As Chip mentioned, this is Andy Dorn, our redevelopment attorney. I'd like to just give each of you these.
Thank you.
As the mayor mentioned, we were here in January to discuss the potential project. And then really nothing much has changed since that last proposal, except the unit count has shrunk a little bit. Originally we had proposed 306 units. Right now we're about 284 units. Still a 4-story building, still a wrap deck hidden from the street. Consists of studios, 1-bedrooms, 1-bedroom dens, and 2 bedrooms. As I mentioned, the unit count has gone down from 306 to 284. In that packet that you have in front of you, that's an updated fiscal impact statement that reflects what we think the income from the apartments would generate, thus the pilot payment. As you see now, currently, the property is generating about $25,000 a year in taxes. With this project, it would be approximately $663,000. The project still has the same amenities we discussed previously, about 4,000 square feet worth, club room, media room, fitness center, a virtual fitness center where we have a cycling studio where you come in, get on a bike, and if you're in Los Angeles at Soul Cycle, that kind of room, if you're into that sort of thing. A yoga room, and also a pool. So still everything that we mentioned in January, but again, the unit count has gone down to about 284. The reason for that being is that previous concept was based on a tax map, and this one is hard, surveyed, recently surveyed, and that's how it lies a little bit smaller. Is that it?
Yes. Any questions from you all? It is frankly amazingly similar. I do have a report. As you may recall, I believe it was in June, well, probably it was in May, but I did appoint a coordinating committee because this is somewhat of a complex project and in essence time-consuming, and as I like to say, the council's productive and it probably does 20 or 30 different items a night, and as a consequence getting concentrated time on a single issue is difficult. Equally, this type of project crosses two major subject areas. One is policy with respect to the governing body, and that is the development of the town as well as the economics. And then it also addresses the issues of the planning board, which are very detailed in site plan, and hence they have a capability that is different than ours. So the coordinating committee was made up of 2 people from council and 2 people from the planning board. And they are from the planning board, Rick Miller, who is the chairman, and Debbie Thomas, who is a member. And from here, it's our council president, Denise Karen, and Zach Bray. And we have met, and I'd like to just quickly read this because we've come to some conclusions. And part of this discussion, it also talks about the what are the next steps. So if I may, just to read it in the record, and I do have a copy for you. All right. This is from the coordinating committee. It's a report, and it's the recommendations and comments, frankly, to the governing body regarding the draft Block 81 redevelopment plan dated October 2016. The coordinating committee met and supports the draft Block 81 redevelopment plan of October 2016 with one minor change. That modification is the deletion of the last sentence of section 6B. And that we'll read. The draft of Block 81 redevelopment plan assumes that all the property is under ownership or contract. However, we have not reviewed those documents, the committee that is, and eminent domain is not expected as part of the redevelopment of Block 81, but should remain an option available to the governing body if it subsequently finds it is in the best interest of Raritan Borough. And in essence, that sentence says that we are absolutely not going to pursue eminent domain. And as you may recall, there's 2 approaches. One is with condemnation, and the other is without. And as you may recall, we had a conversation about the proverbial Atlantic City Casino that has the house in the middle of it because they couldn't come to terms. And so that was how we originally started. And the committee is of the view that the private market will obviate the need for eminent domain, yet maintaining that latitude at this point is appropriate and important. If the language remained, it could be argued that it would become a non-condemnation redevelopment project and could potentially require the borough to start the entire process all over again from square one. Accordingly, the last section of 6P should be deleted. Also, the redevelopment plan is the first of 3 documents. The other 2 documents are the financial agreement, as the councilor pointed out, as well as the redevelopment agreement. The former is where the financial specifics are detailed, and the latter is where we specify the developer and detail the relationship and construction milestones. These documents logically follow the redevelopment plan, since the developer / project sponsor needs to know the redevelopment plan to be designated in the subsequent redevelopment agreement and fully detailed monetary arrangements with the borough in the financial agreement. Once all documents are approved by the Borough Council, the Raritan Planning Board will work in detail with the developer on its site plan application in accordance with municipal land use law. So, well, at this juncture, there is no intention, but the fact of the matter is the committee took the view that since they did not have review of those documents, and frankly, it probably was not their position, we wanted to continue as we are going until we get to the next step, which is the actual approval of the redevelopment agreement and the financial plan, where it'll be incumbent upon the proponent, developer, to bring forth proof that they in fact do have title or contract title to the properties. So that is the report of the coordinating committee, which recommends that, with that one exception, that the council act favorably upon the ordinance. Anything else?
Can I ask a quick question? With the pilot program, no school taxes? No, the schools don't get taxed on that? Is that correct?
That's correct. The pilot payments get split 95% to the municipality, 5% to the county.
For 30 years?
For the improvements, the land taxes get split normally.
Traditional.
For the duration, because you were asking for the duration of the pilot.
Correct.
30 years,
Yeah,
right?
no. I just didn't think you got it, so.
Any question? So then all the property owners have agreed to sell? I mean, there's no more holdouts?
Well,
So then,
these are the guys
That's
who
correct.
know.
okay, so then eminent domain is a moot point, then, right?
They haven't closed on it yet, so that's why we want to leave that language in there, so that for that potentiality, that there has been no closing, those closings haven't yet taken place, so we want to just keep the option open.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Good. So, let me go back to the agenda. At this, Counselor, at this point, we would wait, because we're going to essentially introduce a,
An ordinance as
an
amended,
ordinance. Right, as amended.
As amended.
So,
Rather,
so we'll do that later. Or do you want to do it now?
Jeff, I'll defer to you. I mean, I think it might be appropriate to do it now.
I think so, because, we have the developer here, have special
Right.
counsel,
Right.
so there's probably no reason to delay the introduction.
Okay.
Usually, just
So-
jumping ahead to item number 9.
So I can, okay. So item number 9 is ordinance introduction. This is ordinance 2016-6, an ordinance of the Borough of Raritan, County of Somerset, State of New Jersey, adopting, pardon me?
That was a call.
Oh, I'm sorry. I try to listen to my lawyers. Anyway, I'm sorry. Adopting a redevelopment plan for the area in need of redevelopment consisting of block 81, lots 1, 2, 3, 3.01, 4, 5, 6.01, 6.02, 6.03, 7, 8, 9, 9.01, and lot 10 in accordance with NJSA 40:12A-1 at SEC. And you've all received this in your packet, so could I have a,
With the recommended,
with the, I'm sorry, thank you, with the deletion of the last sentence of 6B.
correct.
Okay. Councilman Giraldi, Council President Kara, any further questions, comments? Roll call then?
Mayor, Councilman Bray,
Yes.
Council President Kara,
Yes.
Councilman Fooey,
No.
Councilman Giraldi,
Yes.
Councilman McGinley,
Yes.
Councilman Sebelia.
No.
Okay, motion approves. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If you guys want to go, please go. Item number